G'day folks, I hope you're doing well. Man, it's been a good minute since we last saw each other. Gosh, the last couple of months, this world has been going absolutely crazy. But fortunately, the restrictions on camping just lifted in New South Wales. And it's my first camp out in about 2 months, so I'm bloody excited. Going down to a spot I haven't been before. It's about a 500-metre descent down to the river, and just spend the night down there. And so far, this place is bloody beautiful. It should be a really nice weekend. But being stuck in isolation for 2 months means I'm pretty unfit at the moment. So it's gonna be a pretty hard slog, especially coming back up. But yeah, anyway, should be a really nice weekend, so stick around. So where I'm gonna go is all the way down there. So just gotta walk along this ridge, around this little mountain top here, and follow the ridge and the spur all the way down to the flats down there. Should be a really nice campsite. I've never been down here before, so really looking forward to it. And it's so nice to be back out in the bush. 2 months of no camping is 2 months too long. It's really nice to see this place didn't get affected by the fires as well. I kind of thought it would have, but yeah, glad to see it didn't. Alright, well, I've made it down to the flats, so I might go for a bit of a scope around and see if we can find a nice place to set up camp. This place is bloody beautiful. Man, my stoke level right now is through the roof. I'm so happy to be here. Oh, cannot beat this. Absolutely frothing. Phew. Alright, so I made it down to the river, and man, it's pretty bloody beautiful down here. Look at the mountains behind me. So that's where I came, all the way up the top of there. So I've got a nice big sandy beach behind me. Could easily camp here, someone has before. There's a fire pit just over there, so I could easily camp up here, but I might go for a bit more of a wander around there, see what I can find. But otherwise, this is a good alternative. Yeah, so pretty good site over there. Someone's obviously camped there before. There's a little fire pit. Pretty nice backdrop. Pretty hard to complain about that. I would have liked another tree because I've got a tarp with me. It's kind of a little bit tricky to tie off to make a shelter. I'd probably have to tie off to the tree and then find some timber to sort of make a shelter. So it's not ideal, but it's pretty good. Get a nice view of the rapids and stuff down there as well. So it's a pretty good option. I think I might go for one quick little look around again, just down amongst the casuarinas close to the bank. And if I can't find a better spot, then I think this one will do. Alright, so I've just had a look down amongst the casuarinas and I didn't really find anything particularly great for a campsite. So I've decided to come back up to that original spot where you can sort of see down the river. I've already got a fire pit set up and a little bit higher in elevation because tonight we're meant to get a fair bit of rain, I think, so after about 12 o'clock till the morning. And being closer to the river, you got that risk of the sort of flash flood. So at least here I'm pretty high up and I should be sweet. So I'm absolutely buggered. So I'm going to sit down and have some lunch for a bit and I'll get camp set up after that. Yeah, so you guys have probably noticed now I've got a new backpack. This is a Fjallraven Ebesco. I think it's about 45 litres. And I do love my Tasmanian Tiger Raid pack and I've still got it. But after I did that gear loadout video a couple months back, I just realised how heavy some of my gear is, and the main problem is because I'm lugging around camera gear because I've got extra batteries and lenses and bits and pieces and it all just adds up. So by the end of a trip I'm usually pretty exhausted. So I decided to sort of reassess some of my gear and purchase a few new items, and this is one of them. This comes in about 1.6 kilos, which is pretty much half the weight of the Tasmanian Tiger. So far so good. This is the first trip I've been on with it and it seems pretty comfortable. Had no issue hiking down here, so I'm pretty happy with it so far. and it seems like a pretty good size as well. Kind of yeah, fits everything I need to, which is good. I also got a few other things like an insulated sleeping mat, because my other sleeping mat wasn't insulated. So last year during winter I was getting a little bit cold, so with the insulated mat I should be pretty sweet this winter. I also got a new sleeping bag. Well, it's actually a quilt, which I've never slept with a quilt before. It's a Cedar Summit Ember 3, I think it's called. And it goes down to around about -6. And being a quilt, during summer, I can pretty much just have it sort of just draped over me if I want to, so I can sort of use it in all seasons. So pretty keen to test that out tonight, because all this gear I haven't used yet, so yeah, pretty keen to see how it all goes. Alright, well, let's get the tarp out and we'll get camp set up. Now, one of the cool features about this bag is if I unclip this, because it doesn't have a bottom pocket, but what it does have are these zips running down the side. So I can zip that down, and access the bag like a backpack, which is pretty handy. I haven't really seen many packs like this, so I can just pull out my tarp, just my Alton Goods tarp, and not have to worry about getting everything else out, which is very handy, I reckon. Put that back down. Yeah, pretty nifty. Alright, so if you guys follow me on Instagram, which if you don't, you should, shameless plug, you'll notice that during ISO I kind of started playing around with a few different tarp shelters just to kill the time. So I'm going to try one of them out tonight and see how it goes, because when I did it in the backyard I thought it was a pretty sick little shelter. So first things first is I need to get some some port posts. So I've got a fallen log behind me, might be able to cut some pieces off that and use it to support the tarp. Bloody love this knife. Once again, this is a Bushman from Core Knife and Tool. Love using this, fits in the hand so well. Being on sand, these pegs aren't really sticking into the sand very well, so I'm just going to use some rocks to weigh them down. Yeah, so then with this flap, you can either just have it back when the weather's fine, or if you know it's going to rain a bit, pull this down, just put another guy line through there. So rather than tying the guy line straight to the tie out, just make a loop at the end of the guy line. Just put that loop through the tie-out loop and then just get a stick and pop that through. That way it's a nice easy release. And then you can have this down. Rather than using a peg, I'll use a rock this time. Just put that through there. And that gives you some nice protection from any rain that's going to come in. If it's going to be like a bit windier and heavier rain, you can always just drop these posts a little bit lower and bring this right down to the ground. Yeah, I like the shelter. I don't know if I've ever seen it before. Kind of just came up with it in the backyard the other day, and I think it's a really sort of versatile shelter. I actually really like it, so I think it should do me well for tonight. So as you can see with this shelter, it's not protected on this side. It's got the flap on the other side to protect you, but not this one. So it really depends which way the wind's coming and how strong it is and how heavy the rain is. But as long as you sort of face it the right direction, it should be pretty sweet. And around the back of it, just tied up like that, just to give me a bit of extra space. Yes, another good thing about this shelter is it's got a pretty decent ground sheet, so you could almost get away with just using that. But I brought with me my Helicon Tex poncho, which can also double as a small tarp, so I'm going to use that as a ground sheet today. Yeah, sweet, pretty perfect size. And I've got one more thing I'll probably do, but I might do it actually before I go to bed. So I might dig a little trench around the tarp, so when it does rain tonight, or if it does rain tonight, any water will sort of, yeah, kind of hit that trench and be diverted away from me, because I'm on a slight incline here, so it's not perfect, not ideal, but I think digging a trench, I think that'll be sweet. And also being sand, it's pretty absorbent with water, so I shouldn't really have too much of an issue. Alright, well, I'll show you some of the new gear that I got. So this is a Cedar Summit Ember 3 quilt. Like I said, I think it goes down to around, I think they say between 0 and -10 or something like that. But you can never really take that for words. I think it should be around -5, I'd probably say. But yeah, this is a quilt. Never slept with a quilt. I've heard good things. A lot of people who go from sling bags to quilts, they never seem to go back. Everyone seems to rave about the quilt. And I'm a big tosser and turner throughout the night. I move a hell of a lot. So I think having a quilt will stop me getting so tangled up. So pretty keen to test this one out. This is the warmest bag they have. It's also like in the Ember range. It's also the warmest and the slightly heaviest. This is about 900 grams for that. I was going to go for the Ember 2, which goes down to about -2, but like I said, I can never quite trust those temperatures sometimes. So I figured I'd just go that a little bit warmer, and then I'm pretty much covered for every scenario. So pretty keen to test it out tonight. I've also got the Nemo Tensor insulated mat. Pretty similar to my other mat, except the fact that it's insulated. It's also a little bit bigger, it's wider and taller. My other one was just a regular size, and I'm a pretty tall person, so having that extra length will help me out. But yeah, just a pretty standard mat. I've heard good things about this one as well, so be interesting to see how warm it is tonight. And the last thing I got, so after my last gear video, I sort of mentioned I wanted to get I have a PLB, which is a Res Q-Link ACR PLB, I think it's called. And I was saying that I kind of wanted to maybe get a Garmin, like an InReach or something like that. Anyway, Garmin actually got in contact with me, which is pretty sick after that. And yeah, they hooked me up with a GPS Map 66i. I was going to get the Garmin InReach, but this is a step above that. So this one actually has GPS maps on it, and so you can actually navigate via this if you need to. Because I spend a lot of time off track, in wilderness areas and stuff like that by myself, it's nice to have something that's you can navigate by it, and also can be used as an SOS device. Obviously, it's always still great to take physical maps as well, but when you got the technology these days, it's nice to have that as well. I don't think you should just rely on technology, because everyone knows that can easily fail on you. So it's always good to carry a map and a compass as well. But yeah, today's technology, it's nice to try and incorporate some of those luxuries, I think, when you're out in the wilderness. The benefit of this one, which is why I really wanted to get it, and I'm really stoked they got in contact with me, is because you can actually send text messages off this. So if I get to camp and I just want to send a text message to my girlfriend or something like that and just say, yep, I made it to camp, everything's all good, I can send that, and she knows that I've made it to camp nice and safe. Or if my car's broken down, I'm on a dirt track that might be miles away from the nearest house, I could easily send a text to her saying, send me an NRMA or a roadside assistance to wherever you are. That was probably one of the biggest issues, because I do a lot of sort of solo trips by myself, way off track. Some of these roads go for miles and miles and miles, and you're in the middle of nowhere. And if you, for some reason, your car breaks down or something, it's a long walk out if you have to walk that road back to civilization. So having this, kind of takes that worry away from me, which is I'm pretty happy with. And also with the SOS function, this when you hit SOS, it goes to a communication center. I think it's in America somewhere. Then they'll contact your local rescue service, and then they'll sort of send out the rescue. But they'll also text you during the rescue to tell you how long the rescue is going to be, which I think is pretty helpful. Because with my other PLB, that works on a different satellite system, and you never know if that signal has been received. You just set it off, and you just hope to God that someone gets it. There have been horror stories when you're in a deep canyon or something like that, or a valley. Sometimes those signals don't get out. Whereas at least with this, I know that that signal is going to be received or not. So I think that peace of mind when you're by yourself out in the bush, it's worth it. They are pretty pricey, these. They're sort of up around the, I think in Australia they're around the $800, I think. So they are pretty pricey, but like I said, if you're out in the bush like myself and you spend as much time as I do out there, it's just that peace of mind. It's I think it's worth every cent. So yeah, pretty stoked that they got in contact with me with that. Anyway, I might put my Nemo mat out, and then yeah, might get some firewood after that, because it's probably about 3:30. Sunset's about 10 to 5, so I haven't got too much longer, so we'll get that ready. Yeah, so this is a bit new for me. This is a pump sack, so rather than using your breath to blow it up, you can actually just blow into this. Probably takes about 4 breaths, and it pumps it up pretty quick. And that is so much easier. Bastard. Oh no. Just broke the tip off my saw. You bastard. I think it's a little bit damp. I think it's been seasoned long enough. See how it goes. What we got here? I think it might be a little wallaby skull. We've got this weed or whatever this thing is going out the back of it. It's pretty funny. Very cool. Alright, well, I think I have the fire pit like this tonight, so this way I can have my grill going from this rock to this rock, and I can have the fire at the back here, and I can just scrape in the hot coals underneath this section here where I have the grill above, so that way I can still have a fire going behind, and I can yeah, use the front to cook on.
So started the middle of December. Slowly departed the house of my father once more. Well, I started on the road, I know now where it leads, where it goes. And all I've been told is somewhere I'll find.
Oh man, feels so good to be back out here. 2 months of no camping is way too long. I cannot think of a better spot to get back into it. This is a really nice place. Well, hopefully you guys have been alright over the last couple of months. We've definitely been going through some pretty crazy times, and other countries have done it pretty tough. Here in Australia, we've been pretty lucky that we didn't get knocked around by Corona too much. I think we've had about 100 deaths or so, which is still very sad, but nowhere near as bad as some other countries. So we've done pretty well, I think. So all you Aussies, good on you for keeping it under wraps. I think we all did a pretty good job of knuckling down when we needed to, and we've been fortunate enough to sort of get past that hurdle. And fuck, the rock just exploded in the fire. Shit. I think that's the first rock I've ever seen crack in the fire. I guess we've had a fair bit of rain recently, so there's probably a bit of moisture in these rocks. Might be best to pull them out, I reckon, and just have the fire in the sand, because I don't want to be sitting around that fire and get a rock in the face. Now, that's pretty sketchy now I think about it. I'm glad it wasn't any worse. I've heard some pretty horror stories about some hitting people's faces and stuff, so it's kind of annoying though. It's kind of relying on those rocks to sort of use to cook on, so I might have to come up with another idea. Alright, so let's get some tucker on. Just got some pearl couscous, which is in here. I've just got some vegetable stock in there as well. And then for the chargo veggies, I've got some cauliflower, there's some pepitas in there as well, some goat's cheese, red onion, and a sweet potato. Oh. So first up is I'll get some water on the boil, and then I'll put the vegetable stock in, and then we'll chuck the pearl couscous in. If you guys haven't had pearl couscous, try and hunt it down. It is pretty hard to come across sometimes in your local Woolies or Coles. Sometimes it's called Israeli couscous, I'm pretty sure. But man, it's so good. I think I prefer it way more than normal couscous, so definitely worth checking out. So the problem with camping on a sandy beach, it's bloody sand everywhere. Trying to keep a clean workspace is pretty difficult. Just chucking about 250 mils worth of water. Alright, so I might chuck in the vegetable stock first, and we'll get that over the fire. And just to hang it over the fire, I've just got my trusty pot hanger, which I got from the Pathfinder store. Right, we'll leave that for a few minutes, just get that boiling up, then we'll chuck in the couscous. Alright, while that's boiling up, we'll chop up the vegetables. So in here I've just got my titanium grill and some chopping boards. Alright, well first up we'll cut up some of the sweet potato. Just want to roughly chop it up. Cut up some of the onion. Just want to roughly chop it up, doesn't have to be too fine. It's one of those meals that nice big chunky vegetables are better. I'll just get some cauliflower out of here. Once again, I think I'm going to have that same problem of too much food and too small a cooking plate. One of these days I'll get a bigger frying pan. I cannot wait until I do, because it's always such a punish trying to cook everything in this small pan. Alright, so just in here I've just got a bit more sweet potato, which I probably won't put in, and I've just got some pepitas, but I'll chuck them in right at the end. Alright, then we'll just put some olive oil on top. and we'll get that in the fire. Alright, I've got a pretty good bed of hot coals here, so it should be nice to cook over. Now I've had these rocks sort of sitting around the perimeter of the fire for a while, just to sort of dry them out. I think they should be fine now. Fingers crossed. Alright, now we just have the pearl couscous. Now we just want that to simmer for about 10 minutes or so, and the pearl couscous will absorb all the water. So just my swagman's pantry, I've just got some Moroccan spice, so I'll add that to the veggies. And if you're after one of these, definitely check out Core Knife and Tool. Awesome little bit of kit this. Well, I just forgot to press record when I was adding the Moroccan spice. I'm also going to add some dukkha as well, just add a few more spices to it. Just give that a bit of a stir. It's starting to come along pretty nicely. I think the couscous is about done. I'll be able to add that to this in a sec. Yeah, so I'm just going to add some pepita seeds. When you roast them up, it's such a lovely flavour. Goes really well with this dish. And already this is looking so good. Well, I think this pearl couscous is done. It looks a little bit gluggy, but I think it's about as best I'm going to get it cooking it like this. Alright, well, I think that's about done. It's a little bit gluggy, this couscous. I didn't quite nail it this time. I think it'll still taste the same. Alright, and last but not least, the goat's cheese. So I've just got it wrapped up in this beeswax wrap. I highly recommend looking into these beeswax wraps. Good alternative to plastic, glad wrap and stuff. Just reduces your plastic intake, which is always good. Just going to dice up this goat's cheese, which I might save some as well for breakfast tomorrow morning. So maybe I'll save that for breakfast. I have a lot of questions about people asking about bringing cheese and stuff into the bush, and as long as it's like a semi-hard cheese like this, I never really have I've never had any issues so far. So I'd probably 2 days is probably as long as I'd take it. I wouldn't really sort of go much longer than that without being refrigerated. But I find keeping them in the beeswax wraps, yeah, sort of just helps it. Rather than, I find when it's in glad wrap it kind of sweats a bit, but beeswax wraps are a bit more natural. Alright, well there you go guys. Pearl couscous with charcoal vegetables and goat cheese. Some pretty gourmet stuff right there. I reckon you pay about 30 bucks in a restaurant for that. So let's get stuck into it. Oh man, this looks absolutely epic. I think I've outdone myself this trip. Let's see how she goes. Oh man, that is actually really nice. That goat's cheese just makes this dish. It's bloody tasty. Anyway, I'm sure you guys don't want to watch me eat, so let's call it quits for now. Just going to finish this off. Going to pour myself a couple of gins, watch a bit of the bush telly, and have a pretty early night tonight. Like I say, I think they're meant to be raining from about 12 o'clock to about 5 o'clock. So fingers crossed it's not too heavy, but yeah, we'll see. So anyway, I'll catch you guys in the morning. Good morning guys. So yeah, definitely got some rain last night. Probably rained from about 2 o'clock to about 6, but it wasn't too heavy. It's actually quite nice sort of waking up and just hearing the gentle rain on the tarp. So quite a soothing way to sleep. But yeah, the new sleeping mat and the quilt, absolutely love. I was so toasty last night. I kind of got a bit too hot at some stages and had to take off my beanie, so very happy with that purchase. But yeah, woken up to a pretty nice morning. It was actually really foggy before. It's actually really cool to watch all the fog sort of dissipate and move up the mountain. But now sun had turned out to be a pretty sunny day. So I've just had my brekkie. Obviously everything was soaked, so I didn't bother having a fire. So I just used my gas canister to cook up some brekkie. Now I'm gonna go fill up some water, pack this down, and then yeah, boost on out of here. So yeah, let's go get some water. Alright, sweet. So fire's obviously well and truly out because we had a lot of rain last night. Just scatter the ashes, just throw away any burnt sticks. Just try and return the place to as natural state as possible. That way sort of the next person who comes after you can sort of feel like they're kind of the first person here as well. So it's always good to practice so they leave no trace. Man, have a gaze at this place. Jeez, a cracker. Nice big cliff face, looking down the river to the mountains behind me. I've got a big sandy beach just back there as well, which would have been an awesome place to camp. And I've got some rapids over there. I don't know how I didn't come across this spot yesterday. Must walk straight past it. This would have been a beautiful place to camp, but you know, I might come back here and when it warms up, maybe summer. Beautiful spot to go swimming. I reckon you have some bass up here as well, so probably a good spot to fish. This landscape around here is absolutely stunning. Alright guys, well, I'm nearly back in my car and I am bloody exhausted. That was an absolute mission to get back up here. I am so unfit after 2 months of isolation, so I think I'm going to try and get back in the gym as soon as it opens and try and get fit again because that nearly killed me. So anyway, it's pretty damn windy as well, so I'm going to wrap up the video here and say thanks for watching guys. As always, really appreciate your support. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It's really nice to be back out in the bush again after 2 months of no camping, so I've had a really nice weekend despite the tough slog back up here. So anyway, I'll catch you guys next time. Hooroo.